Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
Is it on? Okay. I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man, and do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job. ISIS is making a tremendous amount of money because they have certain oil caps, right? They have certain areas of oil that they took away. They have some in Syria, some in Iraq. I would bomb the shit out of it. It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg. Okay, who's next? Yeah, please. Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Go ahead. No, you don't. You haven't been called. Go back to Univision.
But I also think that if you're going to claim that you're the only one that lifted this into the campaign, that you acknowledge that, for example, you're the only person on the stage that's ever been fined for hiring people to work on your projects illegally. You hired some workers from Poland.
I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody.
Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. That like they forgot about Dre.
If it was up to me, you stop coming up to me with your hands out, looking up to me like.
One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
This is a tough business to run for president.
I know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is real tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3. So far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better. You know, you started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
Yeah, living life like this. Gotta paint a picture when I write like this.
A year ago, you told me on my radio show, the audio and the transcript are out there on YouTube, that you would release your tax returns. True. Are you going back on your commitment?
First of all, very few people listen to your radio show.
If this beat cock it and dump it, the drama really means nothing to me. I ride by and blow your brains out. It's no time to cock it. No way you can stop it when niggas run up on you with them things.
$505 billion. We're going to lose that. $505 billion. And by the way, I don't like this mic. Whoever the hell bought this mic system, don't be the son of a bitch to put it in, I'll tell you.
But he's the president. He's coming over. He's getting a big dinner free at the White House, addressing the UN. If you were president, would you throw him a big dinner?
I would not be throwing him a dinner. We've had this conversation. I'd get him a McDonald's hamburger and I'd say, we got to get down to work.
Give me my money in stacks and lace my bitches with Don figures. Real niggas fingers on nickel-plated non-triggers. Must see my enemies defeated. I catch them while they coked up and read it open fire. Now them niggas bleeding. See me in flesh and text and get your chest blown. Straight out the west, don't get.
North Korea's nuclear effort is the top threat to the United States. What would you do to deal with that reclusive country?
I would get China to make that guy disappear in one form or another very quickly. And let me tell you, people say,
how do you make him disappear and assassinate him?
Let me just tell you, no, well, you know.
I disagree with that, sir. And if I can ask you this question, it seems as though you're resistant to scrutiny the kind of scrutiny that comes with running for president of the United States.
I like scrutiny, but you know what? When I raise money, excuse me, I've watched you on television. You're a real beauty.
Keeping it cheese ain't nothing. You ain't gotta like it 'cause the hood don't love it. Hey.
You know, it's amazing. I mentioned food stamps, and that guy who's seriously overweight went crazy.
My ambitions as a rider.
And it's going to be stopped. It's going to be stopped. Somebody criticized me the other day because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them.
I won't die for this shit.
When you look back over the sweep of this campaign, going back to last June, is there anything you regret?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to have done certain things over, but you can't. You can't. But that's true in life. I'd love to have done in life certain things over, I guess. And you would have too.
Give me one.
You would have loved not to have contributed to the Clinton Foundation.
Mr. Trump, let's stay on this issue of immigration. You have been very critical of Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, who has wanted to increase the number of these H-1B.
I was not at all critical of him. I was not at all. In fact, frankly, he's complaining about the fact that we're losing some of the most talented people. They go to Harvard, they go to Yale, they go to Princeton, they come from another country, and they're immediately sent out. I am all in favor of keeping these talented people here so they can go to work in Silicon Valley.
So you're in favor of increasing that?
I have not been at all critical of him.
Where did I read this and come up with this that you were...
Probably, I don't know, you people write this stuff. I don't know where you...
I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Let's talk about the latest example, which is Trump Entertainment Resorts, which went bankrupt in 2009. In that case alone, lenders to your company lost over $1 billion and more than 1,100 people were laid off.
Well,
is that the way that you run the country?
Let me tell you about the lenders. First of all, these lenders aren't babies. These are total killers. These are not the nice, sweet little people that you think, okay? You know, I mean, you're living in a world of the make-believe, Chris. You want to know the truth. I have never seen a human being eat in such a disgusting fashion. You ever see it? He's eating today, stuffing it. I never saw. This guy takes a pancake and he's shoving it in his mouth. Thank you, guys. Bites this big.
Thank you, guys.
Not a big deal. He's pushing it in. Never saw a guy eat like this. I told my son, he was watching. He said, Daddy, look. I said, don't watch. Little bites, little bites. It's disgusting. Do you want that for your president? I don't think so. Did you see recently where a couple of days ago, Saudi Arabia said, let's raise the price, let's cut back production. Can you believe it? You're going to be paying $5 and $6 a gallon for gasoline pretty soon. And they want to go in and raise the price of oil. Because we have nobody in Washington that sits back and said, you're not going to raise that fucking price.
Keep the heads ringing.
Donald Trump is a fraud. Now, Donald Trump tells us that he is very, very smart. He is very, very not smart. Attacking me, as he surely will, won't prove him any less of a phony. It's entirely in his hands to prove me wrong.
I could have said, Mitt, drop to your knees. He would have dropped to his knees.
Hey, well, let's hear Big Don.
Don't worry about it, little Margo. The fake media goes out, which we call the mainstream media, which sometimes, I must say, is you. But when the fake...
me personally, or...?
Your show. I love your show. I call it Deface the Nation.
Can't none of y'all niggas fuck fuck with none of these niggas. These triggers, weed killers, sitting on the porch, in between legs with a bitch French.
But as it turns out, there are actually more than 2 sexes.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street. Under the sun, the bastard son will pop the clock to feed the